To begin with, this research was made thinking in the advantage of computer-assisted language learning in writing, especially on the development of English as a foreign language. As many authors mentioned in the article, computers have changed the way we write. They help us to make academic writings better in terms of grammar and structure. They also play an important role acting as a guide to rearrange our writing task and to make it better. This is made by word processing software, which changes the way that writing classes are made by changing the way that learners produce text. Some authors state that computers have introduced new ways of generating, organizing, and editing text. It is important to mention some of the characteristics that will lead us to what has been done in this research. Some of the characteristics of these processors are automatic feedback, option to rearrange the written task without effort, high quality is given to the text, and correction of spelling, grammatical tense, mechanics, syntax, and punctuation. But there has been different opinions and points of view, which we can see here. Some authors state and believes that writing on computers frees students from rewriting a text for 2 or 3 times. First draft, second draft, it satisfies them not to revise a text. And this could be true, but there was another author that mentioned the contrary idea, which emphasized a different perspective from this one. And this author said, word processors help reduce the mechanical difficulty involved in changing text and offer a fluid and easily transformed communication. Users might create longer compositions and do more revisions of their writing than they will do with a pen and a paper. This means that code is as useful as a hand revision made by ourselves, and we could see that when we write and make corrections. We all know that we are going to pay more attention if the computer shows us the mistakes that we have made, because in handwriting we cannot be aware of the kinds of mistakes that has been done, and it's more difficult.
44 students were tested. The participants were assigned into 2 groups, the experimental group and the control group. The control group was taught based on a more traditional learning. However, the experimental group was taught based on a computer-assisted language learning. Microsoft Word was the software that was used by them. Instrumentation. The pre-test topic was, what are the causes of stress on students in high school and college? And the post topic was, what are the causes of stress in your life? Procedure. Students in the experimental control group were given instructions. The instruction was about the topic sentence, supporting ideas, and cohesive and coherent paragraph. Students were also introduced to enumeration, description, cause effects, advantages, disadvantages, comparison, and contrast that were found in expository writing. The students that were part of the control group did their writing task in paper and pen. However, the students on the experimental group did their tasks on computer. Data analysis. The errors found were of inappropriate word choice, tense, article, verb form, pluralization, word order, and mechanics.
Results. Well,
The pre-tests of both groups, experimental and control group, were compared in order to make sure the two groups were almost at the same level at the beginning of the study in terms of using articles and tenses. Both results were very similar. There is an important difference between these two groups in terms of using articles. The results of the independent sample t-test revealed that the control group had a better performance than the experimental group regarding the use of articles. However, the participants in both groups were at the same level of proficiency regarding the use of tense. Post-tests were compared to see if there was any improvement. The results in different variables showed that the experimental group had a more positive changes than the participants in control group. The final results showed that the experimental group, the ones who were exposed to computer-based programs, had a much better performance in the post-test. They had better results regarding use of tenses and articles. The control group results were not significant regarding the pre- and post-tests. Discussion and conclusion. The experimental group had better results because they had a much more positive experience by working with COL using Microsoft Word software. They had a much more interactive way of working because they had instant feedback and they were able to revise their work while they were doing it. The control group had a much more traditional experience, which did not have a significant impact because they had to wait for feedback and it was boring for them to go all over their work to check their mistakes. That was our presentation. Hope you liked it.